Being a misfit at the DJC Collectibles studio, I'm Midwest professional wrestling legend Gage Octane. And now, here's a guy who is truly outrageous, truly outrageous, Kyle Peterson.
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, back again with episode number 34 of the Kyle Peterson Show. And as usual, we got the voluptuous Angie. Angie in winter mode. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello, Angie. How are you?
Welcome, everyone. Angie here.
Angie's here. You're very covered up for winter. Winter is here.
I had like a mock neck on last time.
Oh my gosh. And Angie, it's cold outside right now. What was the temperature like yesterday? Like 35?
Yeah. Today
Something
was colder.
like that.
Today was colder. It was like 20.
Cold and wind, and it's just absolutely cold here. But I don't know if we're going to get through this winter. The way it's starting off, I don't know if I'm ready for it. My voice has been going for like a week and a half because I'm dying. Yes, it's true. I'm dying, but I got that raspy voice. But a few ladies did write in and say they loved my new voice. So hey,
country boy.
I got that going for me. What do you think about it?
I like it.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Does it do it for you?
Deep.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But Angie, it's extra cold outside, and we see you're covered up here. It's a long winter. It's parka season next coming up here. But Angie, we're ready for winter, and you know we're in that time of year right now where I always struggle. Okay. Do I wear the jeans or do I keep going on the shorts? I'm currently still going on the shorts, even though it's cold. It's turned into short and hoodie season for me.
Yes.
And that's where I'm at, but it's like dangerously close to having to put the pants on.
I know, but then it's going to be almost 70 this weekend.
See, and that's the thing. That's where I'm going to, because once I go jeans, I can't go back. I can't.
So
it could go to 90 degrees. I can't go back. So I got to make sure I do it at the right time. And you're right. It's supposed to be like 70 this weekend. So I'm going to hold off. I'm going to tough it out. I'm going to
give me a headache.
Heat things up a little bit.
You're overthinking it.
And then whenever
I do the jeans one day, shorts the next.
That's right. I guess. And when I can't do that though. You can. You can. But whenever I put my pants on, you always say, Kyle, take off your pants and jacket. That's what you always say. But I don't know.
And then that's when you switch up the socks too. You go from like a crew to an ankle to a crew.
Yes. See, and I hate it too. So I can't. I have to wear socks all the time. I can't wear shoes without socks. I can't do that. My dad can do that. He's a professional. He can do it. You can wear socks without shoes or shoes without socks. You can do that.
Yeah.
I cannot do that. And then when I wear shorts, I can't wear long socks with shorts. It looks ridiculous.
You don't have sweaty feet. I do it because my feet never sweat.
You have such sweaty feet.
No, I don't.
There's pools of sweat. You're like ice skating.
Like dry.
No. I gave you a long foot rub for a half hour last night. They were very dry. They were very dry, those feet. But you get a half hour foot job and I get a job for 10 seconds. That's all it takes. But Angie, I worked your feet over last night, so they weren't very sweaty at all. But I can't wear long socks with shorts, and I can't wear the short socks with pants. It just, it feels so weird when the edge of it just feels weird, and I can't do it. And it's a weird time of year where it's like the crossing of the streams. So I don't know what I'm going to end up doing, but it's getting cold. I'm not ready for snow. My back can't take it. I'm going to have to work this weekend, though. It's going to be 70 degrees out. I'm going to have to clean up these leaves, mow the yard one last time, put down the fertilizer, the winter growth stuff. Going to do all that this weekend sometime. And Angie could
your back can't take it.
My back can't take it. I can't take it. I need an ice pack. And
We've eventually reached that point in our lives where the weather is affecting our joints.
It's getting me. It's getting my joints. 100%. And I've had bad knees since high school baseball. Long story. Save it for a story time with Kyle. But ever since, I've been able to feel the winter changing. Oh, old man winter's coming. My left knee tells me. And I've been saying that since I was a junior in high school. And I'm going to continue to say it now. But Angie, also might be a good time this weekend to get the lights on the house for decorations. That might be a good idea. 70 degrees.
Except I'm really busy this weekend.
You're so busy. Oh, so busy. Clear your calendar. We'll see what ends up happening. I don't think I got a few things going on this weekend. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. And I guess more to come. We'll let you know. We'll take a picture of the Christmas lights.
You can do it for once.
Get out of here with that. Me and a ladder. my swanton days are over, but we'll see what ends up happening. We got to get this stuff done, though. And if you guys checked out episode 33, the Jose Canseco, Larry Bird, Scottie Pippen, Eddie Murphy, Patrick Waugh, Patrick Ewing episode of the channel or the video, the podcast, whatever you want to call it. What are we doing here? Last week, we did show Angie's Christmas tree. So she's got 2 Christmas trees up. It's only fitting you get the lights going.
There? I didn't know you did.
I did. So you got any other Christmas thoughts?
No, I just love Christmas.
Now, are you ready to see Santa this year?
Is it getting easier as the kids get older?
It's getting harder.
Was such a, like when they were little, what's the word? Like you had to get them dressed in the matching outfits, and it was just like a whole.
It was all right.
Thing.
When a kid, they don't fight back.
There was more
anything.
magic to it then. Now
and they don't fight back. You go to Bass Pro, and if they're angry or whatever, you throw them on Santa's lap. They take the picture. It's
cry.
Funny. It's good. It's bad. It is what it is. Yeah. And then you get the ticket for the free meal at the Bass Pro Shop. And I don't know if you guys have a Bass Pro Shop by you. That's the best place to see Santa.
I don't think they do that anymore. They're cheap now.
No, they did it last year.
They just give you a free.
The meal.
No, they just give you a free picture.
Yeah, that's what they've always done.
Yeah, but I don't think they give you a free kids meal.
No, they did last year. They did? And we just didn't take part in it because the food was so terrible the last couple of years. We said we're not going to do it. You just
threw those away. Right?
I did.
Before I even saw them.
No thanks. Don't want any of that. But now Elle, she's too old to get the kids' meal. Emma's just fighting on there. Emma doesn't look like she's 10 years old. Like yeah, that's the problem. And you always feel bad. It's like, but she doesn't look 10, so I don't want it. But I'm like, but she is 10, so we're going to take the free kids' meal. We're going to take the free cheaper concert ticket because she is 10. Bring her birth certificate. And you were like fighting that one concert you were going to. It's like people will call. I'm like, nobody's going to say, wait a minute, this girl doesn't look 10. She looks like she might be 12. No, guess what? She's 10. Nobody's going to fight you on that. Nobody's going to fight. But Angie, it's the Christmas season. I can't believe it. And I think next week will be the Thanksgiving episodes. We'll have some special Thanksgiving talk in the next episode of the podcast. We'll talk about food. And maybe it's time to start the Christmas sweaters. I think you could start that Thanksgiving week. So I've got like 12 of them. So I'm going to have to.
You should be starting them now if you want to get
I could. But fabulous. Kenny Rogers Western wear. Just calling my name. Calling my name. And what designer are you wearing today, Angie?
Target.
She's wearing Target. Oh, Target. Is that an Italian designer or French? I'm not exactly sure. But I'm wearing original Kenny Rogers Western from the 80s.
I should have worn a red shirt.
Could have.
Would have popped that trim there.
Yeah, it would have. It would have popped. That's for sure. You love popping the P. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Oh, my God.
No doubt about it. But it's getting cold outside. It's dangerously close. Do I go to jeans? Do I not? I think this week will be the telltale sign because Wednesday night, as I'm filming this, I am going to Zach Sabbath in concert. Angie, you're not partaking in the Sabbath this go around here. Zach Wild, Black Label Society solo, Zach Sabbath, his Black Sabbath tribute band coming to town. I've seen them, I believe, 9 times, and many years ago I saw them 8 nights in a row on tour with Clutch. I've always liked Zach. I always love Zach Sabbath. Always love Black Sabbath. Always love Clutch too. But I am going to that show, and this is where it could get dangerous for me not wearing pants because that show will get out at like midnight. You got that long walk to the parking lot, that drive home. Luckily, I have a starter in my car, so I can start it from the venue. So maybe I'll get off easy. We'll see. Do I ever get off easy, Angie?
Mm-mm.
No, it's always a lot of work, isn't it? It's always a lot of work. There's always special techniques taken to it. But hopefully I'll get off easy and I won't be too cold after the concert. But that's where it could hurt me because I'll go into the concert with short sleeve shirts and because it's hot in the pit, when you're throwing down. And then you leave, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm freezing, I'm dying. So we'll see what happens. Enough of that. But I am going to Zach Sabbath, so maybe we'll have a little concert review in the future, but always a very good show there. But also, Angie, we got to thank the sponsor of the Kyle Peterson Show. It is DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to save yourself 8% on all in-stock items, as we do know. I guess pre-order items too. 8% across the board. Savings for days over there. We've got to thank DJC Collectibles for sponsoring this very podcast. But Angie, one last thing before we go a little bit deeper into a deeper dive. We got one last thing. We got to give a special happy birthday shout out to my dear old dad. Dad, he is the 92, 93, something like that. I can't remember where it is. But he did celebrate a birthday this week. So shout out to my dad. Good friend of the channel. Angie's going to be gone at the end of the year. Would be great to have dear old dad in the guest host seat. We could just chat it up about the good old days. We'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath. He's all but retired. He's all but retired. Can't even get him to leave the house for pizza at this point in time.
And it'd be a good Christmas one. You could tell your Christmas
we could tell Christmas stories. We could just deep dive into all of it. But I don't think that's going to happen. So don't hold your breath. Nobody hold your breath out there, Angie. But you can hold your breath a little bit here as it's time to go a little bit deeper. It's time for a deeper dive. All right, Angie, it's time to go a little bit deeper. It's time for a deeper dive. And this week we're talking about something we've all, or maybe not everybody, but we are definitely have been on both sides of. We're talking parent-teacher conferences, Angie. Maybe as a student you were there, your parents were going, or you're like us, and tomorrow night you've got to go to parent-teacher conferences for little Emma at her elementary school. So maybe you've been on both sides. I think you got history of either of those sides there. And Angie, you've told me in the past that you love a good parent-teacher conference.
Was just thinking, I have zero recollection of ever going to a parent-teacher conference.
Here we go.
Do you?
Yes.
Did you get in trouble?
Yes, I could tell you about every single year of parent-teacher conferences of every year of elementary.
Oh my God.
You don't have any memory. That was, of course, going to be one of the
Zero.
questions. Angie, do you remember any parent-teacher conferences?
Zero.
Now, when I was a kid, you were not allowed to come.
Oh.
So
maybe that was it.
That's probably why. Because when I was a kid, sometimes I go with my dad and I would play outside on the playground. Maybe some of my buddies would, and we'd play on the playground, and your dad would go in and he'd do the parent-teacher conference, and then he'd come out, So that's how it was for me. The kids weren't invited. Where now, in this day and age, if you're a parent, maybe yours are like mine, sound it off in the comments below. But they want the kids to lead the conference now. So we're going to get into that here in a little bit. But you don't have any memories of parent-teacher conferences for little Angie?
No.
When your mom and dad would go to the conferences and they would say,
I'm sure it wasn't great.
Apparently it could have been that bad if you don't remember.
Well, I'm saying for them. Maybe I wasn't there.
Or maybe they didn't go, because there was that thing where a lot of parents don't go to their kids' conference. They don't care about their kids' education. I wish I could have been that fortunate, because my whole family, even my dad at one time, were all educators. So they view the education system as a big deal. Like, oh, you're going to go and all that. So they were all in it. But maybe your parents, they said, hey, we don't want to go to these parent-teacher conferences. We got better things to do. Maybe you think that was the case? Maybe it was the case.
I can't imagine my mom not going.
To each their own. But I see that they have the sign up at a lot of these schools we go to and stuff. And you see some parents that never go. And it's usually the foreign kids. Usually their parents don't go, because I don't think they speak any English at all. So they're like, why are we going to go hear this? Yeah. So but you feel kind of bad for those kids that don't get that, or, it's supposed to be a student-led conference. I guess if I was a little kid and they were doing the student-led ones, I'd love it if my parents wouldn't go. I'm like, oh, great, I don't have to present. Perfect. But they didn't do that when I was a kid, which I guess I'm happy about, because our kids always dread it. And it's so funny how nervous our kids have always gotten. Like, it's just you, me, the teacher, and them, and they have like a binder, and they got to present these things to you. And I'm half listening half the time. I got to be honest. I think you're half listening. Hopefully our brains come together. But we've been very fortunate that they've never thrown our kids under the bus. We've never had issues, no problems. But I can imagine some kids where it's like, oh my God, he did this, he did that. There was, when I was a kid, I was fighting to survive every single day at school. West Side KP, as many know me as, but there was like, I sat next to a girl that ended up killing her grandma. Crazy. And went to prison and died in prison. That's the kind of people I was going to. You ever seen the movie Class of 1984, Angie?
No.
Maybe you guys have seen the Class of 1984. That was basically how my school was. So if you ever watched that movie, or familiar with that, I was kind of a cross between Michael J. Fox in that movie. You know Michael J. Fox? I was kind of like him in that movie, but I was cool. But he was like a good doer and trying to help out and stuff. And that was kind of me, but cooler. Michael J. Fox kind of big dork in that movie. And spoiler alert, he gets killed. Probably rightfully so. But that's kind of what my school was, like Class of 1984. You'd fight your way to school. You'd walk 10 miles to school every single day. It would be cold. You'd be 10 below zero. The teachers wouldn't let you in school early, even though you're standing out there freezing. You'd be fighting. You'd have murderers you're sitting by in school. It was a tough go. It was a tough go in elementary school for me. And maybe you had very similar circumstances. And people think I'm probably joking, but I'm not. This is all serious. I had to fight. You know how many fights I got into? And one time I fought those Buck twins, knocked out the front teeth, had to go to the principal's office. A lot of fighting, just fighting to survive. But, the teachers didn't talk about that too much to my parents, too, because they just wanted the paycheck. They didn't want to, they tried to look the other way. It was kind of like my time in Oz. You remember those years I went to Oz? I met Angie right after I got out of Oz Penitentiary. I was a hardened criminal. That was the only thing that was hard, seeing Angie back then, especially just getting out of prison.
Back then?
Yeah, back then. Oh, yeah, back then. I was hard as a rock out of prison in more ways than one. I came out of there and I was just ready to go. And I was a hardened criminal, a hardened man. And you had to do some things. You saw some things in prison that's tough to ever forget. Let me tell you, if you've been there, real ones know, and you keep it in here. You keep it in your heart. That's what you do. You keep it and you never forget. You never forget. In here and in here is where you keep those things.
You're on one today.
I'm on what? 5 monsters? No, but that was kind of like me in elementary. It was like a mix of Oz and the Class of 1984. If you know, people. Angie apparently
You
doesn't
get all
know.
fired up talking about your childhood.
I do get fired up, and you don't have any
We just drive your neighborhood and you show us all the sites, and you've done it 2,000 times.
Every time.
I just never gets
Every
old.
time.
It
I'm
never
that
gets
guy.
old.
It never does.
Guys, this is the kids. This is where I grew up. This is my house. This is my elementary.
And
they're all like, cool, Dad.
And you know what? They don't even mention anything. They don't look up from their iPads, their phones, or anything. You know, if my dad was like, this is my elementary school, I'd be like, oh my gosh, roll that window down. I want a closer look. Roll that window. That's what I'd be like. And if you said that to me, this is where I scored 25 points on this night at wherever school, I'd be like, wow, look at that, Angie. That is that exact net. I'd be doing that where my kids, I'm like, guys, look, this is where Destro got buried in the backyard and I never found it. Let's all go excavate him. They don't care. They don't look. They don't pay attention. And I'm that parent too, when you drive down the street of like a new town. Oh, look, there's the KFC. Look over there.
Yeah, he's reading all the signs.
There's the Long John Silver's. Oh my gosh, they got a mall in this town. I'm that guy. I like to call all that stuff
was
out.
that King and Queens? Was it the dad, the old dad? Whenever they were driving the
Jerry
car,
Stiller.
He'd always be like, read every single sign.
That's me. I do the same exact thing. I like to read it just in case maybe people's eyesights aren't as good as me. Oh, look at there's old Domino's. Yeah, there you go. But that was me. Whenever we go out, getting off on a tangent once again. But I don't remember, or you don't remember going to parent-teacher conferences. No. You don't remember any feedback from your teachers or anything. No. I remember lots of feedback from the years. And I'm going to start it at kindergarten, and we're going to work our way all the way through high school year by year. Is that okay? No, maybe not. Maybe not. But a couple of highlights I remember one time is... my dad, the teacher told my dad, if Kyle would spend as much time writing as he does writing about baseball and wrestling and toys, and he concentrated on math and science and things, he would be an absolute genius. And some would say I'm a genius Renaissance level. I think I was tested once upon a time and I was off the charts. I was like an ELP. Maybe that was the troubled kids. I don't know, but very smart, but only smart in the stuff I want to be smart in. That's the problem. But look at me now. I got a desk and on air.
You got 2 desks.
Look at me. I got 2 desks in this house. So I've come a long way, let me tell you. But they said that to my dad. And then I'll never forget one year. It was 4th grade. We had a teacher. Her name was Mrs. McMain. She's probably dead now. And she was terrible. And that should be a story time. This should be a story time with Kyle where I talk about this as there was a foster kid that came into our elementary class. And you feel bad about a foster kid. I didn't personally because because they both put on, we all put our pants on the same way, 2 legs at a time.
Oh my God.
And this foster kid, she got peripheral treatment from the teacher. The teacher would let her do anything and all this stuff. I guess I'm just going to tell the story. I guess I'm going to go. I'm already into it. And this girl was evil, and she would do evil things. It was probably like Problem Child, kind of like that, but not as intense, and without John Ritter. That's what it was. Oh my God. But this girl was evil, and she would do stuff behind the teacher's back all the time and blame other kids. It was like a sitcom or a movie or a horror movie is what it was like. And everybody in the class hated this girl. And she'd always grab the teacher around the leg and crying and put on these crocodile tears. Her name was Jessica. Jessica, I'm calling you out.
She's in jail.
Probably. She's probably dead. And I remember one time in class, and I'll never forget this, and my buddy Danny, shout out to Danny, my old buddy, good old friend Danny. We were texting about this the other day, and he brought this to my attention. And we'll never forget the time where they talked about, where's your ancestors from? And Angie, we did an episode, we're talking about your ancestors. You're not from south of the border. A lot of people think you're Spanish. You're very exotic in the looks department, and we love it. We love you for it. But Angie, we had to go around the class and say, where is your ancestors from? And I think I said, Italian, German, whatever I said. I don't even know what I am. I can't. Swedish. I think some of that Swedish. I'm Italian. You know me, the pizza loving guy, of course. But you say that, and this guy says my family's from, Poland or something. Not to pick on the Poles out there, but they came to her. This Jessica. You know what she told everybody? Arkansas. She said her family's from Arkansas. And first I said, wait a minute, you're a foster kid. You're not from Arkansas. What are you doing here? This isn't the right state.
Oh my God.
But she was terrible. And the teacher just loved her because she was the biggest teacher's pet. We all hated her. And I'll never forget one time we'd have story time. It was kind of like story time with Kyle, but different and a lot more boring. And we were all sitting there and we had these nice little chairs you sat on the floor with. They had a back on it. They were real ritzy for 4th grade. And she'd always get it. The teacher would always give it to her, give it to the foster kid. I mean, come on. Come on, what are we doing here? But she got it. And I'll never forget that one of the kids in class, I think it was Joey. I don't know. I'm just throwing names out there. But she would always pick her boogers and eat it. And you're familiar with this, right?
No.
I could say I've never picked a booger and ate it, but she would do it all the time. However, this time was different. She was wiping it on all the chairs underneath. And she was putting hundreds of boogers.
Oh, my God.
She was like floating on boogers.
Booger farm.
It was a booger farm. It was unbelievable. And one of the kids saw this. You know what he did once we got up? He turned it over and said, Jessica's putting boogers everywhere. And that's what she gets. That's what she gets. And it was a whole thing. And I remember one time the teacher, like, they thought everybody was picking on her so bad. They had to have like a special meeting without her in the room. And like, you know, Jessica's a foster kid. I'm like, so what? We all got
like,
our
Jessica's
issues.
An asshole.
Yeah. I was like, I hate this girl. She's terrible. And just because she's a foster kid, she gets forgiven for these things. I'm literally in the class of 1984 right now. Little Bobby got killed on the way to school. He got hit by a car. You know Justin? You know Justin. He got hit by a car. 2 kids getting hit by cars. All kinds of things going on. There was child predators all over the place trying to kidnap kids. I should write a book about my childhood is what I should. But they were like, this Jessica, she's just, so great. You know, we got to be nice to her because she's a foster kid. And like one kid raised his hand. Well, my parents, my parents died in a helicopter accident. And I live with my grandparents.
I'm an orphan.
And I have like, I'm a divorced family and I got to bounce around between all these houses. We all got our issues out there. But just because she's a foster kid, she got special treatment. Anyways, long story short, got off on a tangent, Angie.
I think.
I'm very passionate about fourth grade, let me tell you. But I would wait outside while my dad would go in and do these parent-teacher conferences. In fourth grade, teacher, Miss McMains, I'm not protecting the name. McMains, she was terrible. And my dad used to say, McMains, she's insane. That's what he used to say. My dad used to say that all the time. But he'd have to put on the good work shirt and go in there and say, okay, Kyle needs to do this, and this. And then my dad's like, yeah, forget about it. She's insane. She's insane. You just keep on. Carry on, my wayward son. That's what he said. It's a Kansas song. You guys know that. But this night was crazy, and we're off on the tangent once again. I was outside on the playground with my buddy, and we're playing out there waiting for our parents to be done with these parent-teacher conferences, and there was this old guy out there talking to us, and I'm just like, oh, here we go. We got all those kidnappers of these paper boys. They're going to try to get me because, let's be honest, Angie, let's be honest right here. Kyle, fourth grade, does it get any sweeter than that? Does the meat get any sweeter? You always look at those pictures of me in elementary, you're just like, And, you know, this guy probably wanted a piece. He wanted to kidnap us. That's what we thought. So we kept him at a distance, and we were sitting, my buddy and I, on the top of like the dome monkey bar thing. Because, you know, old people can't get up there. I couldn't get up there now. But back then, you were hiding up there just in case. And he was asking us all these questions, very deceptive of these little kids doing this to us, asking us questions about our teachers and saying, oh, you got Miss McMains. What do you think about her? And what would you think about this? Like asking all these questions. And we should have known stranger danger. We should have said, hey, I can't talk to you. I remember he had a black mustache too, which was extra dangerous. But we were just throwing Miss McMains under the bus. And then lo and behold, what do we find out? It was her husband.
Oh, her husband.
It was her husband. And I'm like, oh no, we just threw her under the bus. And I told my dad about it, and I don't remember what he thought, but I'm sure it didn't go well for me. That was my worst year of elementary, as my teacher hated everybody in there except the foster kid. She loved her.
I'm sure it got worse after that.
It always got worse. And that was the time I got detention for a whole month. And detention was you missed all your recesses. You had to go sit in the library. And I was caught in the middle of catching the globe. One of the kids in the class, we had indoor recess. He took the globe off and he passed it to me, overhead pass. And I caught it right as the teacher walked in. And you, detention. And a month's detention. She was insane. It was ridiculous. I missed out on a lot of good playground time. But Angie, back to the parent-teacher conferences here. Are you ready for it tomorrow?
Yeah. Good. Yes.
You're as ready as you'll ever be?
Yes.
You think it'll be as intense as mine?
No,
I don't think so either. And poor Emma, she has to open this binder.
I actually don't like it because I feel like if they need to like critique anything, they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
They don't do it anymore. So it's just like a lot of fluff now.
Yep. You and me are the same thing. So the students have to lead this, and because the teachers obviously don't care. Let's just be honest. These teachers are like, yeah, let's pawn that work off. We don't want to do it. But doesn't it feel like a lot of times, and we haven't been through it with this teacher yet, so maybe it's different. We'll see what happens. But it feels like they just don't want to be there either. And they're just like, okay, you kid, you tell us all. And then the kid's all nervous. They're not used to these presentations. I don't know. It just feels like kind of a waste of time. Then you go there, you don't really learn anything. You see a couple of drawings. Here's what we're learning. But I guess you could sit there and grill them about stuff if there was something going on. But then will they be truthful in front of the kid? Like, yeah, that Betsy, she, who knows? I don't know if they would do that. So it feels like a weird system anymore. So the parent-teacher conferences have changed a heck of a lot back from my day. And I'm sure most people watching or listening to this, you're more of my time where your parents had to go and you got read the riot act and then you get home or your mom or dad gets home. They're like, you're not doing this. You're behind on math. You got to focus on this. You need to start reading on the weekends. We're going to send you to summer school. That kind of stuff going on there. So I don't know, but we'll see what ends up happening tomorrow. But anything else about that? Anything? You know, the other thing they ask for is we get repeated text messages and emails from these schools.
It's so crazy.
It's unbelievable. I get 2 emails. Like one night I was up at like 2 a.m. Don't ask what I was up to.
We have the app and then it's tied to my email and it's tied to my text. So it's like I get 3 notifications.
Like this,
or something stupid like, oh, dying to donate for this at this place tonight.
I get more text messages from the school than I do you.
I get more. That's the only text I get.
It's unbelievable. Well, Angie, let's give out your number right here on air, and then people can text you. You want a friend? So you got 515-250. Let's text Angie. She'll get some friends. Everybody text away. Let me get the rest of your number out. 867-5309. 515 area code. There you go. But where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. Like, I got a text message at 2 a.m. from the school. I'm like, what is going on here? And then they clarified it with another text message. Sorry, we sent that early. Unbelievable how much they do it. But now we're getting bombarded with emails and text messages about, you know, parent-teacher conferences are coming up. Be really nice if you could buy a dinner for the teacher.
Bring a casserole.
But no, not even that. They want you to buy like Chipotle gift cards and stuff for these teachers.
Oh, I thought they had a whole like spread.
No. They want dying to donate and they want you give them a gift card to these places and then they can get a meal and stuff.
So bougie.
And, you know, I appreciate what they're trying to do there, but these teachers are getting paid. And let's be honest, teachers get summers off. They get summers off. But the teachers, they get these gift cards. They want us to donate, but like there's 30 kids in my kid's class. They're going to get 30 meals. Are they going to eat it all that night? Are they going to like do a Joey Chestnut at the hot dog competition? What's going on here? So there's a little bit of shenanigans going in there. I don't know. More to come, but it is true that like the class of 1984 one time. If you haven't seen that movie, you can like literally live my childhood back then. But there it is, Andrew.
Wow.
That's a deeper dive. Parent-teacher conferences. Got a little extreme. I had this earmarked as a 4-minute segment, Angie, and it went about 18. So we might have to lose a spot along the way here. We'll see what ends up happening here. But now it's Angie's time to shine, and you're always shining bright like a diamond. Angie, it's time to try new foods, because they might taste good.
You can try a little bit of this and a little bit of that. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. We gotta try new food because they might taste good.
Angie, it's time to try new foods because it might taste good, and I'm very excited to see what you brought me to eat tonight.
I don't know if you should be too excited.
I don't know if I should.
The brand Wild, they're protein chips, and it's basically made out of chicken breast instead of like potato.
Now, we all know I'm a breast man.
I got a buffalo and a chicken and waffles.
Do you think it tastes like breasts?
No.
We'll see, but it's going to be these. Now, how much were the... Now, tell everybody how much these bags...
We've almost bought these before, but you wouldn't let me do it because they were like $5 for this little bag.
It's ridiculous how much this stuff costs, but 160 calories, 10 grams of protein, serving size 25 chips. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of chips for that 160 calories.
Yeah, I mean, 2 per bag, so like...
Not much.
There's 50 chips in a bag.
It's the bold enough to craft a delicious chip from 100% all-natural chicken. Our light and crispy chicken and waffles flavored chips are the perfect blend of savory waffles with a hint of buttery maple syrup for a chip that won't quit or that hits the spot, the sweet spot.
Egg whites, basically egg whites. And,
what do you know about the spot?
Chicken.
You a big fan of the spot?
I think you got to do one of these.
Oh, yeah.
Get a little notch. It's kind of hard.
All right, we're going to hit the sweet spot here. We're going to try them both.
Should we go sweet and savory? Yeah, I figured we should
Which
one of
one
each.
you want?
They're weird looking.
There's like a half. There's like half of this.
Oh, that's really weird. Look how full mine is compared to yours.
Oh, my gosh.
That's crazy.
Chicken and waffles. We better try the same one first.
What? Is the serving the same?
25.
There's supposed to be 50 in there? There's no freaking way.
These actually smell like plastic.
Okay. Chicken and waffles?
Yep. Oh my God.
Too sweet.
Too sweet. Too sweet to be sour, the man of the hour.
But does it have real sugar in it? What's the sugar content on that? No, so it's used as a fake sugar.
Nope. You know what this tastes like?
Ooh, what's the aftertaste of that?
This tastes like good
Oh,
friendly.
it's like when you make French toast and that aftertaste that's in your mouth.
No, it's worse than that. This tastes like the toenail clippings of Todd McFarlane from the couch.
It's not that bad.
It's worse.
It gives you the aftertaste like you just ate bacon and
Bacon?
French toast.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I think you're tasting that crispy bacon aftertaste. Now,
it's good, but oh my God, see if I can show them how empty this bag is.
it's got bone broth in it. Can't even see.
I'm gonna try to show
You're showing everybody on the audio podcast.
Look at that.
It's very empty.
It's so empty.
It's as empty as my heart, I think.
That's crazy.
I don't know. Now, here's the thing. Especially in my lifting days, I didn't care what it was as long as I was getting protein. I can slam anything down. I can do anything. I can taste anything and do anything.
They
I
could
could
be
eat
so
these.
much less sweet though. It's like
Very sweet, very plasticky. I don't know. What are you going to rate that, Angie? Out of a 5, of course.
I'll give it a 3.
A 3 out of 5. What would be the perfect chip for you?
I liked it. Well,
Sun chips?
my favorite snack is dipping chips in cottage cheese, so this is going to be like perfect high protein snack.
That would be good. I mean, give that a little taste. I don't know about the sweet one in
Yeah, the
cottage
sweet
cheese.
one.
This one probably would be better.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving it a 3 out of 5, which is beyond generous, if you ask me. I'm going to give it a 1.1 out of 5. Absolutely god-awful. 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 But if I'm looking, I would eat it. Now, I wouldn't throw this away. I would finish it because I'm very cheap. I'm very cheap. I'm going to save my money. I got to get everything out of my money I can. I can't just throw it away. So I would tough it down. But if I'm working out and stuff, it's got 10 grams of protein. I'll tough it down for that. But I am hoping the buffalo tastes a little bit better. I'm a big fan of buffalo chips and stuff like that. So we'll see as I'm
We're
throwing it on the
crazy
floor.
in here.
It's getting wild in here.
Ready?
Doesn't smell like anything.
Did you see the one off the floor?
Yeah, floor ones taste best.
Hey.
I taste the buffalo right off the bat.
Oh, it's hot spicy.
Definitely better.
Mm-hmm.
These are definitely better. They still have that kind of weird flavor. A good spice, though.
But it is weird that like you wouldn't think it was a piece of chicken. Like this
No.
was chicken.
This would dunk better in the cottage cheese for sure, too. These are good. Well, I say good. I mean, it's not like a Dorito, which is amazing.
See, I'd rather eat the. I just feel gross if I eat like Doritos and stuff like that.
Why do you eat a whole bag every night before bed?
I'm not gonna start.
Because there no Doritos.
No.
You get all those crumbs in the bed, too. It's just rolling around in crumbs. It's fun. These are all right. These are, you agree, better than the last one.
Yeah.
A good spice to it. Pretty dry. Yes?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. So, if you had to rate these out of a 5, Angie, knowing these are a 3, what is this?
3.5.
That's not a very big difference here. I'm going to go from a 1.1
I haven't tried the texture on this. Sorry.
to a 2.9. A 2.9. Still not the greatest thing ever, but if you're trying to get some protein.
See, this one's much more crunchy. I like the texture of this chip better. It's weird. Something happened in this formulation.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
Angie, let's be honest. You're always looking for any extra protein you can get in your body. You're always wanting it. Wherever you can get it from, you'll take the protein. Well, we've learned a lot today here, Angie. So I don't know. Would you ever buy these again?
Yeah.
At $5 or $6 a bag?
Yeah.
Angie's a high roller. Though.
Well, this is good. This would be a perfect little snack to take in the car, so you don't feel gross.
Is this another one of those ones where you say, "Yeah, I'd buy it again" with your wallet or with your money?
Yep.
That's how it goes. I understand how it goes. I know what you're up to there. So there it is, Angie. We tried new foods and it didn't taste so good. Any final thoughts?
I liked it.
You got anything exciting for next week? We need to find something Thanksgiving inspired next week.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So we'll have to look over for that the next couple of weeks. We'll see her the next week, I guess. We'll see what happens there. So there it is. Let's try new foods because it might taste good. But now it's time to a return of an old favorite. It's time for the album of the week. All right, Angie, it's time for the album of the week, and the album of the week comes in as a new album this week as I listened to it once yesterday in the car. I'm going to check it out again. Angie, you are going to have to listen to this, maybe by force, maybe in the car. We'll see. It is Killed by Death, not Death, Deaf. Killed by Death, a punk tribute to Motorhead. Now, you know me, I'm a sucker for anything Motorhead related. Me and Lemmy are just two peas in a pod. Lemmy has very similar stories of his parent-teacher conferences, I'm sure, once upon a time.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Can you imagine? But this is a very cool punk tribute. There's been a lot of Motorhead tributes over the years, but this is a punk-leaning tribute. And let's be honest, Motorhead, Lemmy will tell you they're a rock and roll band, which I agree with, but they dance with the heavy metal. They dance with some punk rock along the way. And this is a perfect tribute album with some bands. Now, some of the bands on here, we got Pennywise, we got Rancid, good friend of the channel Lars on this one with Rancid, The Bronx, Lagwagon, Fear, an old school one. You don't know any of these bands. GBH, Murphy's Law, Slaughterhouse, The Casualties, Anti-Nowhere League. Metallica fans know them for sure. The Casualties, Love Canal. Can you show me your Love Canal? Show me that. You always do. Soldiers of Destruction, Wisdom in Chains, and then the key selling point of this one is the last song on the album. It is the band The Damned, who's had a good relationship with Motorhead over the years. And it's Motorhead and The Damned. And I don't know if this is an actually unreleased song or some of that studio magic, much like the Ozzy Lemmy Hellraiser song that came out about a year ago. What is Time once again? But we did do Motorhead covering Neat, 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 the Damned classic there. So you do get a new Motorhead track on here. That's the big selling point for me. After that, it's Rancid. I've loved Rancid since elementary school, going all the way back. So
back to fourth grade.
Back to fourth grade. And then Fear, Anti-Nowhere. It's a good album to listen to. I enjoyed going through it. It's funny how many bands on here actually sound a lot like Motorhead in it. You'd almost think you're listening to Motorhead a little bit. But a lot of fun with this album. It is available wherever CDs and vinyl is sold, all that kind of fun stuff. But I know a lot of people, there's a huge contingent of the Motorhead fan base that say, sell out, we don't want this. And I'm always clear with this in my message. I like stuff like this. It keeps Lemmy and Motorhead alive, keeps the legacy alive. I like it when we get unreleased demos. We get stuff that was a live show from 1994 or something. I like it because it's new. It feels like Motorhead's still there. There's just something special about it. So not a ton of meat on the bone here for just strictly Motorhead, but if you're deep into the Motorhead catalog, you want to hear some other people do it, and you want an unreleased Motorhead song, look no further than a punk rock tribute to Motorhead here. Killed by Death, a good play on words as well, Angie. So there it is. That is the album of the week this week. Not a lot for you to add to this one, I don't think, Angie.
No.
Kind of is what it is. But Angie, that's the album of the week. Now we're turning our attention to Figure of the Week. Not you, but this one's a little extra special, and I'm going to need your help.
Oh, God.
It's via PMI Toys. We got Figure of the Week. Time for the Figure of the Week, and we got figures this week here, as we did get a special sponsorship this week, Angie, as we did get a little thing sent to us from our friends over there at PMI Toys. 2 brand new UFC blind bag unboxings to do here, and we're going to unbox one of each of these. We've got to thank PMI Toys for sending this over our way to check out here. But if you guys are familiar with my YouTube channel, and if you're not, what are you doing? Make sure you do subscribe. But both of these have been unboxed. We've unboxed some of these in the past on the channel. But it's blind bags. Kids love the blind bags. And that's what we have here today. And Angie, you want to start with yours first? Now, Angie, you, I believe, got the Walmart box right here.
Yep.
So open it up. Show what's inside there.
Can't see if they can see.
Here you go. Let me help you.
I can't see.
Angie can't see. She's blind. But there you go. We got some nice confetti in here. But we did get a little speed bag action.
Ooh.
There it is. Angie's working over the bag, of course.
How do you even open it?
See you later, goodbye. But we do get these speed bags here. So work on opening one of those, Angie. Now, this is UFC Octagon Fighters collectible figures available at Walmart right now. Go back by the TVs. Top in front of it says head to the TVs, and that's where you're going to find these at. And these are, it says each capsule packs a hidden surprise. 1 UFC fighter figure, 2.5 inches tall, in iconic pose. Can't get it? What? She's new here. You want to try to read it?
No.
Okay. An iconic pose straight from the Octagon. Detailed base to build your ultimate lineup. 12 fighters to collect, including 4 rare champions. Who will you pull? Collect, display, and build your octagon. Show us your fighter at PMI Toys and at UFC. Angie's going for it. What's in there,
You gotta
Angie?
twist it, not just pop it off.
Yeah, I knew that. Step into the octagon. I could have told you if I would have saw, but what'd you get in here?
I didn't want to show you till it's done.
All right, she's open. How many blind boxes do we have in here? So we got a little instructions inside this one. All right, it's got the old checklist here. So you can see who you found and who you got. So it comes with the stand.
Who did I get? I think I got Charles.
Yep, it looks like it to me. Looks like
These are cute.
They are. Charles Oliveira is who you got. Lightweight, of course.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine if you would have gotten these back in the day when we were really into it?
Oh, yeah. UFC is an interesting brand, as we do know, but that's actually pretty nice. A nice stand for him. Pretty good detail on a little figure right here, but these are the Walmart ones here, and they come in the little speed bag. I guess you could hang these on your backpack if you're going to parent-teacher conferences. You could do that, but you do get that. So it is available right now at Walmart, backed by the electronics. You guys know where that is. But PMI Toys was nice enough to send me another box, and this is the Target edition here, Angie, today. And now we're going to see if Angie learned how to unbox these. I'm going to let her do another one. We got a little different speed bags this time here, more of a heavy bag. Now, do you know the difference between a speed bag and a heavy bag?
Sand.
Sand. One is heavy. One is heavier. But you love
you kick.
You love the good speed bag too. You said I'm going to speed bag you tonight. You always tell me that. But Angie, there's that one for you right here. Very nice. And as you can see right here, available at Target. Now, in a really crazy plot twist, I was just at my local Target and I came across it. There's a nice shipper of these, and I saw them putting this up at my local Target. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Black one's got a strong chemical smell to it.
It does have a smell. Action figure and fighter kit, Series 2. Now, we unboxed some of Series 1 on the channel once again. But these are the ones available at Target. Once again, look around your toy sections. There is a shipper for these in there. Nice speed bag here. You could use these with wrestling figures. You'd use them with other figures as well. Pretty cool to see that going on. And Angie, we got how many packages inside?
2, like the other one.
Is there a checklist?
This one's a little different, though. Stand and stuff.
Ooh, you got one right here. This is interesting. You got Sean Strickland, a controversial fighter, Angie, a middleweight. Are you familiar with Sean Strickland?
Mm-mm.
No, she's not. Well, look him up. Now, you do get a little card. You do get a little card with this one. It looks like a sticker as well. Yep. You get a sticker of his shorts, if that's your kind of thing. So you get that. And then you get a Sean Strickland little sticker action here. So that's interesting to see. And then what do you get with this?
I don't know what all this is.
So
you can tell they kind of link all together and make an octagon.
Yes, so you open all these up and it will link together and you can form your own octagon. Much like Series 1, this time you get a gold floor with this one.
He doesn't have little
no stand on his feet here, but you do get articulation. So you do get the head back and forth. You get the arms all the way around. You do get
I got a hat.
Oh, and you get a hat within there. So we get totally different scale-sized figures here, which is nice to see as well. So Walmart, Target, getting different figures exclusive to them, as we can see different ones here. You get one that goes on a stand, one that does not. Ooh. Sean Strickland, Charles Oliveira. And then does the hat fit? Yep, there it is. The hat does fit on the head. So very cool as far as UFC goes. And UFC is always trying new things. We've seen a lot of different toy lines from UFC. Now we're getting these PMI toys. And I believe by my math, 3 different style-sized figures from PMI Toys available right now at Target and at Walmart. Angie, we got to thank them for sending these over here for the podcast today. Very, very fun to check these out. So if you're after them, once again, where do you find them at?
Target and Walmart.
Target and Walmart, 2 stores Angie's very familiar with. So there it is, Angie. A little PMI Toys, little UFC action. But now, Angie, it's time to go to the next segment. It's time for Tales from Retail. All right, Angie, it's time for Tales from Retail as I delve into...
Whoa.
Fix something.
It was a little like off center.
You want to get something off your chest?
I almost popped a button.
Pop it out. Let's see. Let's go for it. But Angie, it's time for Tales from Retail as we dive into my storied career, Angie. A legendary career. Dare I say a Hall of Fame career could be happening soon. There's been talk. There's been chatter of being inducted into the Grocery Hall of Fame for my state. We'll see. That'll be a heck of an honor. Maybe we'll live stream it when it does happen. More to come in the future there. But Angie, I'll definitely thank you from the stage.
Thanks.
Probably fourth, but you'll get thanked nonetheless. But Angie, it's time for some tales from retail. And this story you're probably a little bit familiar with. We just talked about it recently, but this probably goes back 14 years ago, maybe something like that. I was a manager once upon a time, as some do know, in the Mondelez Corporation. Kraft, Nabisco, Mondelez, whatever you want to call it at the time. But I was a manager of that organization. And one day, much like any day, could have been a day just like today, wherever you're at. I was sitting at my desk, as one manager usually does do, and I'm probably working on a schedule, doing a payroll. Who knows what I was up to? Probably good, not no good, but I was up to good, I'm sure. I'm always up to good. But I did get a little phone call, and it was from one of my merchandisers, and he was in a small city in our state, and he said, hey, things are going down at this grocery store. You know where this story's going? No. Oh, okay. Well, you're like, oh, I'm intrigued. But he called me and said, hey, it's going down here. There seems to be some kind of a situation, and I'm calling you to give you the play-by-play. And I'm like, oh, boy, I love a good situation. And I'm thinking there's like a shoplifter. There's some kind of good story. And this guy I used to talk to all the time. Salt of the earth, one of my favorite people in the world. I'm sad I don't get to talk to him as much anymore. I just don't have time. It drives me nuts. I'm on conference calls all day long. It's a whole thing, Angie. It's a whole thing. But I used to talk to this individual every single day, and he was giving me the play-by-play because he knew I love stuff like this. Well, it turned a little bit south later on here, as unfortunately, there was a guy in the store with a gun in the grocery store. And he wasn't afraid to use it, much like myself, Angie. But he had this gun in the store. Now, he apparently was in some kind of altercation, not with an employee, not with the employee I was talking to, nor a grocery store employee. It was apparently an issue with some guy in the store. And apparently they had their business and their fight or whatever, and they took it to the grocery store, as one naturally does. And my buddy here, the guy that worked for me, was back hiding in the produce section. And you can just vision produce at your store. You know, you got the risers, the oranges and the bananas, and he's hiding back there and he's looking. And apparently there's a heck of a confrontation going on. This customer's there with his grocery cart, and the other guy's got the gun right in his face, and he's like, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And I think last week I talked about the shots rang out in the parking lot when I was down in Kansas City. Gunplay. I love it. Let me tell you. But I wasn't there, obviously, for this, but I'm getting the play-by-play over here. And the merchandiser was like, he's getting real heated. It's getting crazy. He's got the gun at him. He's literally giving me the play-by-play. And you can hear commotion in the background. Most normal people like, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to let them go. I'll probably go to the other grocery store. I'm going to leave the store. Not this guy. He's like, well, I'm getting paid to be here. I'm going to stick in it. And unfortunately, he didn't have a camera phone either, which is probably a good thing here. But he was given the play. Do you know who I'm talking about yet? Okay, you know, a legend. You know who this is too. He's giving me the play-by-play on all this. And then unfortunately, as things go, things got a little bit more heated and gunshots rang out. It was much like a hurricane. Anybody know the Bob Dylan song Hurricane? Shots rang out in the pale moon night. Is a bad joke, but shots rang out, and unfortunately, this guy killed this guy right here in the grocery store. I think he blew his brains out all over the produce section. And by this time, once the shots started firing, this merchandiser ran into the back room, and he's still on the phone with me. I'm just like, you should probably get out of there. and I should backpedal a little bit. I told him that at the beginning, you should get out of the store. You shouldn't be here. But he felt like he knew what he was doing. And if I'm going to trust anybody, it's going to be this guy. He knows his way around anything. One of the strongest grip strengths I've ever met in my life. He's like a young Danny Hodge. He's a real one. But he blew this guy away. And not this guy, but the guy got blown away and killed. He gave me the whole play. Oh, yeah, that guy's dead. Oh, he's dead. You know, the whole thing. And then he left the store and all that. And they did have to close that grocery store down. And you know what's crazy is if like something like that happens, they throw away everything in the store. And there was like pieces of skin and brains and all that kind of stuff all over the store, apparently. So they basically throw everything away and start over. Just recently, there was a Walmart in our area where some guy set like 4 fires inside the Walmart. They had to throw away most of the store. And that's part of your insurance coverage and things like that. It takes all of that. And it reminds me once upon a time when I was with Mondelez and I was a sales rep at the time, you have a monthly number you're trying to hit. You're trying to hit your sales goal for the number. You hit your number, you get a nice bonus. You get to take your little sweetie out for dinner. And I was trying to hit that number. And the Walmart, I had all my back stock. And it was the holiday season. It was much like this time, maybe a little closer to December. But there was a big ice storm that came and it caved in the roof. And it destroyed my 3 pallets of product I had in the back room. Destroyed all of it. And they said, hey, don't worry about it. You don't got to credit out. Insurance took care of it. So I got all that money towards my number. It was like a free Christmas bonus. So that was a great time. So insurance and grocery stores take care of a lot of this kind of stuff. And
until you had to hit that number next year.
That's true. And then you're like, how do I get promoted?
How do I burn this store
Yeah,
down?
exactly. And that's the crazy thing.
You release the rat. You release the mice.
Oh, that's where you release. Ooh, the worst enemy of any grocery store is the rats and mice. They'll get in there. They'll eat it. Oh, man. I've had those stories as well over the years in grocery stores. But yeah, the insurance covers all that kind of stuff, as they should. I guess that's why you have insurance, which brings back to a former Tales from Retail back in the day when the freezers went down and my director was trying to get us to sell all this kind of stuff. And I remember saying, don't we have insurance that covers it? He was trying to double up his money. Insurance fraud is what that really was. But anyways, this guy was killed in a domestic disturbance. It was all over the news that night. And man, my merchandiser, a real one out there, giving some play-by-play along the way. Not the first dead body in the grocery store, not the last one I've seen in my days, but that was pretty traumatic. It would have been a little different if I was there probably, but didn't affect him any. He just went on his day, went to the next store and finished up. So once again, he's a real one out there, but that was a crazy one. And I'm sure if you've been around retail like I have, you've seen a dead body or two. We talked about it last week even. So getting morbid here. So I don't know. You got any tales from retail like that, Angie?
I don't think so.
No, you don't want any stories like that either, do you? No, she doesn't. Well, Angie, that's it for the Tales from Retail this week. But now we got to close it up. It's time for a few final thoughts. All right, Angie, we're going to close it off with a few final thoughts here. And we got a anonymous question of the week this week to the email. And if you want to be the question of the week, send it to the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com. And Angie, they too could be the question of the week. But this person wanted to remain anonymous. Not everybody wants their name out there and stuff. I get that. But they sent a question this week for both of us. And Angie, I'll read the question, I guess.
Well, I couldn't read your writing anyway.
Can't read it's like chicken scratch. It's like fourth grade handwriting. Or actually, my daughter's better handwriting than I have.
He mixes uppercase and lowercase in between words.
This isn't professional. This is my notes. So it's not that big.
That's how you write.
Taking me to task. But Angie, here is the question this week. And if you want to be the question of the week, send it to the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com. And you too could be the question of the week. But Angie, what was the most tempting offer you ever turned down, and do you regret it? So what was the most tempting offer you've ever received, and did you regret it? That you ever turned down, and do you regret it? So did anybody ever come to you with something, hey, I'll give you this for this, and did you turn them down, and did you regret it ever? You can think about it. I can go ahead of you if you want.
I already know what it is. It's definitely something to do with my body or sex or something.
What?
Yeah, people I've gotten offers for a certain amounts of money to send pictures of my boobs online. But no, I don't regret it. I'm not going to do it.
Really? Well, you're going to have to fill me in on this a little later. I'm interested to hear these stories.
No, I don't regret it.
Well, what if...
I'd be more risky if we didn't have kids, but can you imagine if something like that got out?
Yeah, you can't do that kind of stuff.
Oh my God, no.
That's why you have your OnlyFans under an assumed name.
I don't show my face.
You don't show your face in it either. But, wow, I guess I wasn't expecting that answer, but I'm sure there's one out there for everybody. I'm sure. Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com gets some interesting emails for Angie every once in a while, apparently. But maybe, if the price is right, guys, price is right, guys, and the face doesn't have to be shown, maybe. I'd like to retire, Angie. I'm just saying. It's time for you to carry the weight like a young
kind of like you were rubbing my feet last night, and you were purposely getting my boobs to shake.
I don't know what that's talking about. I was just overly rubbing
on my foot,
Well, if you'd wear clothes outside every once in a while. Jeez. Well, I wasn't expecting that answer, but now it makes sense that's what you'd think of there. But you never had any job offers. That's where I was going.
Oh, we were keeping this clean.
That's where I'm going with mine. So anyways, I'll go to mine. No. Unless you got any more. But what was the most tempting offer you ever turned down, and do you regret it? Now, this is interesting. This goes back to when I was still in high school, getting ready to go to college. I was a senior in high school. I'd already been a manager at a grocery store, and a lot of people were saying, Kyle, you got to stick it out, be a grocery store manager, be a director, all this kind of stuff. And it was on my list to do. I was thinking about doing that, but I knew I had to go to college. My dad would kill me and disown me if I didn't graduate college. And I'd be just disowned from the whole family. As once again, my family comes from a line of educators, teachers, superintendents, principals, that kind of stuff. So education is very important to them. More important than it is to me, but I'm just following status quo going to school. But I did get a heck of an offer the summer in between starting college from a company that you may have heard of, but back then nobody had heard of it. Angie, it's called Red Bull. You ever heard about Red Bull? It gives you wings. Yes. And Angie, now in a plot twist, full circle moment, you drink a lot of Red Bull these days. She's getting wings every single day, and I might get some wings later.
Not the original flavor. That's gross.
Yeah, I do. I never liked it, and I remember sampling it. He said, "Hey, try this off. It's real good. It's like huge in like the Netherlands or something." And I said, "Oh, I love the Netherlands. Great people over there." And I tried it, and I thought it was god awful. I remember, and they only had one flavor back then. And the guy was like, "Well, I'm just starting a distributorship here, and I'm looking for people to help start the distributorship and get this running here in America. It's in the Midwest. They've never had it." And I'm just like, this is never going to sell. People want their Mountain Dew. That's what people want. This energy drink stuff, that's
God, they
never
really
gonna
were
go.
ahead of the curve. My God.
Way ahead. They were years ahead of it. And then the guy showed me, is like, "Hey, we got this Mini Cooper that has the huge can on the hood.
Yeah.
You could drive this around." And I'm like, well, say no more. Say no more. But they offered, I was like, well, I don't think. I got to go to school and stuff. And I think they said they were offering it like $35,000 or $36,000, which was pretty good for the 90s. But in a plot twist, guess what? Kyle was making that as a senior in high school as a manager at the time. So I was making pretty good money. And the biggest joke of it all was I went to college and I worked part-time. I had to go to part-time to get through these college studies. And I also worked part-time merchandising frozen pizzas, Red Baron, real ones out there, and Tony's. I did 2 jobs and worked 2 jobs through college. And then I came back to the grocery store after college. And they said, "Well, we're only going to pay you $9 an hour now." I'm like, wait a minute. I just went to college. I did all this. And then they threw me back into my own duties. I said, something doesn't add up here. And that's what partially made me leave that side of the grocery industry. Anyways, but I turned down the Red Bull offer. I turned it down. I said, no, I can't. And I do wonder occasionally, because you got to be honest with yourself, the Red Bull wasn't what it is now. And some may say it's lost a lot of luster now, because guess what? There's new competition every single day in the energy drink space. But about a year after this job proposal came to me is when Jaeger bombs took off. You ever had a Jaeger bomb?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Angie, you and me, a lot of Jaeger bombs back in the day. A lot of Jaeger bombs back in the day, in the college days. Remember those?
Oh my God.
Remember those great times up there at college?
Crazy.
Oh, we had a lot of good times up there. Oh, let's tell those stories one of these days.
That's fun.
But Angie, I was remember thinking that, I'm like, man, these Jaeger bombs are like 2 for $4 or whatever. They were taking off like crazy. And I'm like, I wonder how much money I'd be making if I was working for Red Bull right now. But I think long game, it all worked out. I think it worked out for the best. I think I got it all figured out. But that was a huge regret I did have once upon a time. But I've had some other regrets over the years, but nothing I want to tell here. Nothing I want to tell here. But Angie had a good one. I
feel like it was startup enough that you might have been able to like buy yourself into ownership.
100%.
Yeah.
I could have bought part of the
chair.
chair.
Be on a yacht right now.
100%. You probably wouldn't be with me though. I'd be with some.
That's true.
I'd be with some Norwegian hotties, some blonde Norwegian hotties, and just living the life on a yacht somewhere.
No,
not too different than what I'm living right now, though. Really. You know how it goes.
Boats and hoes.
That's right.
Boats and
That's
hoes.
right. So there it is. That's a few final thoughts. A little question of the week. So now we got to finish it up. Angie, what did we learn today?
Oh my gosh, so much.
What did we learn?
So much, I almost forgot.
This is where we test Angie's
This is
memory.
where I peek at the notes.
Where she peeks the notes. What did we talk about? She at the plot twist. She can't read any of it.
Oh my God, what did we learn?
What did we learn, Angie?
You didn't like the protein chips.
No, not really.
Crazy 4th grade.
Crazy.
Just
the class of 1984 is what it was like.
Parent-teacher conferences.
Yep, love them. We're going to go there. We'll report back. What else? Riveting. It's an audio podcast, Angie.
I don't know. I got nothing.
What did we just talk about? We talked about questions.
Shootings, murders.
Okay, what else?
UFC.
We talked UFC figures, PMI toys. Anything else?
Did I already talk about the CD?
Didn't talk about the CD. What did we get?
The Motorhead.
Motorhead.
Covers. I already forgot what it's called.
Boy,
about death.
I think we got to get Angie a meal in her. I think she's fading. And Angie, you're in luck because rumor is the McRib is back. And we're going to go test fate here with a McRib.
I do not like the
Love a good McRib. Slather it on. You love all that sauce. You just always picking it off your mouth. It's just a mess when you eat it. You slurp it all up. Every last drop of that sauce.
Yep.
100%. So there it is. That's what we learned. We're going to refresh Angie after this. We'll do this all over again in the car on our way there. That's what we're going to have to do.
While we cruise your old neighborhood and you point out everything.
There you go.
This is my elementary school. This is the house I was born in.
There's the first
where
time.
I moved when I was 8. This is where I moved when I was 12.
This is where I worked. This is my junior high. This is my
kids,
elementary.
Look.
This is where I had Pizza Hut for the first time. Oh, here's the old Taco Bell. And go on for days. Go on for days, just like we have. We went on for days here. It's time to move on. So, God. Angie, that's it. That's the end of episode number 34. We'll be back next week with episode 35. Until next time, see you guys all later. Angie, close us up. Say goodbye to everybody.
Love you. Bye.
Well, are we going to dance or are we going to play?
I'm solid gold.